Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei Alpha. How you doing? Just had breakfast, drinking my coffee. And are you happy? You know, when our founding fathers wrote the Constitution, and they had the life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Well, they had the life, liberty, pursuit of economic security, right? They said, oh, we can't have that. So they took that out and put this very amorphous thing in called happiness. And they were still thinking about money. So they basically said that you can be happy. Cha-ching, you can get whatever you want. Cha-ching, you can be an A-lister, famous. Cha-ching, you know, all the money you want. It's all inside of you. You know, all you have to do is find the right key and be the entrepreneur. You know, and if you don't get it, it's your fault. You know, well, you were born black, sorry, it's your fault. You were born poor, that's your fault. You living in a place because of the way schools are run, that poor people have the worst schools, rich people have the best schools. That's your fault. Everything's your fault. And there are a lot of people who do get out of that by pursuing their own path, right? But that's because they're looking for their own bliss. They are trying to put their star onto some advertised motif, right? And if you go back, you have to realize that you know our dollar bill has a pyramid on it with the eye of Horus, right? And so you know, there's a guy, he's a great Egyptian myth, and Sefer, right? And Horus is telling him about you know that Egypt is a metaphor of heaven, right? All the great things are right here on earth, but so is hell. It's all here. And it's all tied to the decisions that the individuals make. And as they go deeper and deeper into that motif of pursuing happiness rather than service to love's co-creation, you're going to become more and more unhappy. And when they get more and more unhappy, their ego takes over, and then you can hear the little devils in your head telling you to do terrible things, and you do them. Everyone hears those little devils. It's just that you know, I keep God's unconditional love in my heart and Jesus' unconditional forgiveness in my head. And whenever I come across something that's making me feel, I say, well, Jesus did. And do I believe in the word that you know, God, you know, we go back to Sumerian, that means Gob, the guy with the 12 gold. You know, I believe in love's co-creation as God. You know, that's why I keep saying that, and nothing can be manifested or created in reality without love. You know, without love, everything's an illusion. So that's why we live in an illusionary world, right? Anyway, so I want you to think about this. I myself, I'm living out in the woods, you know, basically camping. I'm basically a homeless guy, but you know, I have a nice little safe spot, right? And it's a Cadillac camp, you know. I have water, I have light, electricity, little teeny bit of refrigeration, but I have a nice garden. I live out in the middle woods. I know exactly what's growing there. I can eat what it is. There's no one spraying or doing anything terrible around me, but you know, there's lots of stuff going on above me and around this whole world. You know, so we're seeing this you know, great planetary warming up. Right? We go study. Most of our weather comes from the sun. Right? The sun is going through changes. The guys who've been pouring out ice in you know, the North Pole and the South Pole. They do that because they're little bubbles of air, which they can tell what was going on, you know, millions of years ago. So they see that this little Earth has mostly either been a mud puddle or a frozen ice ball, right? And the 60 million years or so that we've got now, it's been a Goldilocks period, right? And they can see on that side, and it's happened before. This ain't the first time, right? And so they can see that on either side of the Goldilocks period, there's two bookends, and the snap that changes everything usually is a you know a, geomagnetic change of the poles, and the planet flips, and all the myths of big floods, the world would shake through that just in a few hours. So all those seeds would. So yeah, that's kind of where it is, right? And so that's why all the rich people are going on top of mountains and drilling big holes in the ground and having cities underneath the earth, and that's why we have a thing called continuation of government taking over. I don't know if you've noticed, all these other things, really important things about, cancel culture and gender things and guns and war, and pandemics and starvation. All those are keeping us pretty occupied. But galactic things are about to snap us into somewhere. So, I was telling people that, hey, you got to watch out by 4th of July. The aliens will land on the front lawn of the UN. Well, that was a metaphor. And the metaphor is that we have, Donnie started a thing called, we have the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and now we have the Space Force, right? And so now they are going, started a part of the Congress looking at UAVs, unidentified things in the air, right? But they can now attach all of that to the budget of the Defense Department. And when they do that, they're part of the National Security Act. And when they do that, everything isn't just black. And under wraps, it's like if you mess with it, you go to jail. So they actually passed a law just around 4th of July. And people who, guys like George Morey on Coast to Coast, guys like that will be put in jail. That's what I was talking about. So are you happy yet? So I live out in the woods, things are getting, a little squeezy. I can't afford to come to places like this and do a show, and they're closing, the last guy here, they're going to throw me out any second. So I'm doing this quick and dirty, and so you were happy. Think about that one, okay? So remember, I could really use some money at this time. I had to go into the cushions looking for change to pay this bill. So, and I'm about to, go under the knife this week, and so who knows what's going to happen to Sensei Alba. Okay, talk to you later, maybe.